Hello and welcome to another episode of Denzalist Talks. This one is going to be a bit of a different one. I'm a bit slow getting these episodes out. I've been a bit lazy of recent, so I need to get my finger out. But anyway, that's a different story. So this episode we're going to talk about the BBC and the current ideas to basically get it abolished by I think 2027, which I think it should have been much sooner, but that's a different story. And also they freeze the funding and the cost of the TV licence until it gets abolished. So we're going to talk that is there any need for the BBC at the moment, and the fact that we pay £153 a year. That's the people who actually do pay, because a lot refuse, and I fully understand it. But we'll get onto that. So we'll start at the beginning. So the cost of a TV license at the moment is £159 a year. And when you think of other services and things like that which offer more, I mean, yes, they have radio stations and things like that. Yes, they have all these other channels which nobody really watches. I mean, they're just bringing back BBC Three after they said that it wasn't financially viable to put on anymore. So that's another way of money well spent. And I don't know who watches BBC Four, because there's like nothing remotely interesting. Like I said, I love art, I love music, I love culture, but all those, it just looks like Mr. Middle Class channel. and it's fine, if you're a true sort of BBC lover, I understand, but that's not really going to be for me. So I think, like I said, BBC, when they started charging for a license, it started actually as a radio license in 1923, and then they abolished that and moved it to the television side. So, and they've been slowly, of course, raising it on a regular basis. And like I said, they say that the income of licence fees was 3.8 billion from 2017 to 18, and 655 million was provided by the government over 75 concessions. So this is something which is the government is paying towards. So you just think like, basically, over £500 million. The government, yes, they do waste a lot of things, but that's for another talk. But yeah, so over £500 million is being spent. So basically, the BBC can carry on and paying their stars a lot of money. So I think from where I stand for, when the TV license was introduced, when there was limited availability of information, then it was great that we had a British broadcasting corporation. But now the way other companies who do advertising, sponsors and things like that, which we're sort of used to by now, they basically do the same job, and a lot of times it's like virtually the same same footage and the same sort of type of reporting. The fact that when the BBC started, it was just telling the news, being impartial and things like that. And that's not been the case for some time now. You know, they say, oh, like, we'd like to, you know, do the, you know, be fair on the political parties, but they never do. And, you know, they say one thing to another, so, you know, so if you're on about sort of reliable sources and things like that, they've been caught making many mistakes over the years, basically stealing images from other people and things like that, and just basically making a story fit around what they want it to make. You know, none of these, you know, news corporations are any different, and they've all done shady stuff, and we all know about it. But the fact that BBC still to this day, you know, with like Sky, yeah, if Sky's got an agenda, you know, that's fine, but you can choose to go to that news outlet and you're not paying for it, you know. And it's like, because they make their money from sponsorship and advertisers, like all these other companies like Facebook, like Google, things like that, you know. And it's like, but the BBC, you know, don't have these adverts and things like that. They are almighty than thou, but they're as biased as anybody else. So we are not getting a balanced reporting, and also, like I said, you know, they try to basically mimic channels like ITV and do more entertainment and things like that. And because they've been over the years competing with other you know, channels like ITV and Channel 4, you know, they still pay their stars like a lot of money. I mean, between 2019 and 2020, the highest paid person was Gary Lineker at 1.7 million. Well, 1.75, and then you had Zoe Ball. I didn't even know. I assumed it's radio because I didn't even know she was around. But fair play to her, because she gets 1.3 million. And then you've got people like Steve Wright, another person. Like I said, I don't listen to a lot of radio anymore, if I'm being honest. And it's like, yeah, and even he's like, you know, 475,000, you know. So just on the small list, you know, a lot of them are sort of outlets like radio service and things like that, and yeah, and a lot of them get at least you know, $250,000 and things like that, so it all adds up. I mean, Vanessa Phelps gets 400,000. I didn't even know she was contracted to BBC, honestly. It's like, you know, fair play to them, but, you know, it's like, but when they're doing these competitive salaries, but the people who are paying for them are the people like us, you know, on the lowest incomes. You know, there's people who have families who basically have to pay 150 odd quid a year, you know, and not given any choice. I mean, one thing they're going to be stopping before they get rid of the TV licence is the decriminalisation of the TV licence, because this is also the reason why I think BBC are basically a bunch of cheating wankers, and they you know, have lied and misled people for years just so people nod their head and accept you know, this expensive fee which no other country in the world does. No other country like pays for like one channel, you know, well, one, you know, corporation, you know. It's like, and if they do, they don't pay £150 for that one channel. They usually have cable or things like that, where they have multitude of stations. So yeah, so this is very unique that that we like force all homeowners who basically have a television to pay the TV license, and now more and more people are cancelling it and refusing to pay. And when they start to not be able to take criminal action, because at the moment they threaten people basically monitoring people's houses and things like that, and also they can if they supposedly catch you watching live TV basically, they can potentially take you to court, which they've done many times before and things like that. So it's just a waste of time and money for everybody, and adding a lot of stress to people who most of the time can't afford it. So with this entire sort of service, it's sort of the only people who are benefiting from BBC are the people who are getting paid, 300,000-400,000 a year doing their radio shows and things like that, which I have not got an issue with that, but it's like, but when there's proof of a lot of waste, then they say they put the money back into it, but they're still putting money back into it. There's still be like I said, they're paying Gary Lineker 1.7 million, the chief executive of the BBC or whatever they call him. He'd be earning a bit more than that, let's just say that. So they might put it back into brackets programming, but when you look at these wages, that's a lot of money. Of that 3 billion is paying on wages alone, let alone everybody further down, your production teams, your departments and things like that, your billings, everything else. So it's and it's fine, like you said, if they did what these other companies do, and basically did it through advertising and sponsorships and things like that, you'd understand. And because no one likes to watch adverts, but I'd rather watch adverts than pay 150 quid a year. And that's the thing with BBC. They've been doing a lot of things recently to sort of make more money, which they say goes back into programming. But like when they're partnering with that subscription service called BritBox, which is ITV and BBC programs put together, and a lot of people are angry with that, because literally this country's forcing the people to pay subscription service, and now BBC's wanting to charge more to watch more of their programs. and their brackets exclusive programs they work with ITV to make, and it's like, but everyone else still pays 150 quid a year, and it's like, honestly, it's a very messed up system. And then, like I said, when televisions were coming out and things like that, and they it was a vital service, because there wasn't national news, there wasn't able to get news from other countries and things like that. So this was a vital way, when the BBC was formed, to give people the up-to-date information as quickly and as regularly as possible. But now, like I said, you've got, you can do 2 clicks on your phone now, and you can get news curated for you, personalised to you. So depending on what you want to check. So if you just want to check horse racing and the weather, you can get that. If you want celebrity goss, you can have that personalised to you now. So it's like it's hard to find news which basically hasn't got an agenda, or there's a lot of fake news and things like that, and that's for a different episode. I'm definitely going to be tackling that. But the issue is that the BBC aren't impartial anymore, and they haven't been for some time, and they do as much pushing agendas as everyone else. So if you can't we're paying for a service where we can't guarantee that we're getting true impartial news, and we're paying for trash TVs like the new Doctor Who's, which honestly I used to love Doctor Who growing up, but now honestly it's written by it seems to be written by children who just stick crayons up their nose. Honestly, it's just they sensationalise a lot of things now, and the thing is now as well, when you look at younger generation now, a lot of them now, well, it's proven they have shorter attention spans, so they're not able to so that's why things like TikTok, for better or for a lot worse, has sort of bred this generation of people who want their content quick in small bites and things like that, because literally they get bored when they see something a bigger format, or or more in depth, because they probably have been drinking so much flipping energy drinks that they're not actually paying attention, because actually having too many energy drinks does in young people does stop them taking in information, and actually makes them more tired than awake, because literally it's like an adrenaline rush. So when it goes down, they don't actually pay attention. So when you've got basically sugar filled, pumped up, and then flipping and then have little energy, and also very small attention spans, it's like people aren't going to be watching this stuff anymore. Like I said, traditional TV license and the traditional terrestrial television channels, they I think there's still a place for them, but like I said, I think nowadays, so many people like myself, you've got Netflix, you've got Amazon, you've got your TV shows, you've got your movies, you've got your exclusive programs which you can't get anywhere else, and it's and all of them are charging £5 a month, and and £5 a month, I mean that's it, or I mean if the BBC was £5 a month for everybody, I mean that's what's it about 60 odd quid a year, and that would be that's more than half, and it's I think people wouldn't have an issue with that, but I think the BBC is such a bloated system that literally it's just I think it's just a way for other executives and other people just to make more money, and I think that people wouldn't have had a problem if it was actually being comparable to other service which people choose to pay, and that's the difference. You can choose 1 month to go onto Netflix, and then the other month go to Amazon, or like Now TV or things like that. But we don't have a choice, and a lot of people don't like when they're basically being told that they don't have a choice. And going back to what I said before as well about lying and deceiving, BBC for years, they did years and years of campaigning saying about these vans they have, which can basically tell them when people are watching, BBC, and it's complete bullshit. never existed, and they admitted it. I think was about 5-10 years ago or something like that, and literally, for years they've just been like scaremongering, because if people knew the truth, they wouldn't have been, won't be paying for this crap, and and people would be more, protesting and sort of, calling bullshit on all this, and it's quite bad that how the BBC started to what it is now, because it's a beast of what it was and what it was supposed to be. And I know times change and things like that, but if I think if the people who sort of started charging people for this this service, which was vital at the time, but because we are such a digital age now, that it's a dinosaur. It really is. It's like like I said, there's services where I think there's more enjoyable content for a lot less per year. And the thing is, what about for those people who hardly watch the BBC? I mean, I'd probably watch about 2 or 3 programmes a year, if that. I might randomly listen to a little bit of radio, but not usually. And it's like, so I'm having to pay £150 a year for watching a little bit of TV, or maybe a bit of like Match of the Day every now and then. It's like, if I did it by consumption, I wouldn't actually be paying a lot if it was, if it was a fair system, and that's the thing, where, like I said, nowadays there's so many different options, and the fact that you can choose now to what programs you want to watch and what's going to be coming out. You can literally go from month to month to a subscription service, binge or watch what you want, and then you're done. And it's like you can stay with that for the year if you want, or go to something else. I mean, if you're on about like services and stuff like that, where you've got like Amazon have things like free books on Kindle. They do like music service and things like that. And I know Amazon's a very evil corporation, probably about on par with the BBC. But still, you know what you're paying for, and you choose every month to renew that or not. Where with the BBC, it is literally a dictatorship, and it's like, and anybody who wanted to say no, I don't want to watch that anymore, usually got flipping a lot of hassle and a lot of threatened being taken to court and other things. And it's like, and to say this is a system which was being paid for, I've lost my train of thought. I don't know, but anyway, but yeah, with this sort of like system, no, it's gone, but yeah. So that's basically my opinion of all this. Like I said, it's I mean, I used to grow up watching the BBC. It was great for family entertainment, and at one stage, there's a lot of things I used to love which isn't on there anymore. It got me into things like motorsports. I used to love Formula One back in the day, and of course that now is moved to Sky because they can pay more, and the programs which we used to love watching regularly are just quite bland now. So yeah. It's just sad what the BBC is now, but like I said, I think it's been long coming that they're going to abolish it, and I think they should. The only problem is though that there could be a different government by the time that they agree for this to be gone, and it wouldn't take much for whoever comes in to just say, oh no, we're not getting rid of it now. And I hope that's never the case, because it needs to happen. And it's and it's just a it is a dinosaur. It really is. Like I said, there's programming which a lot of programming I watch is a lot of American shows. Because sometimes there can be some sort of crap, but you know what you're dealing with those. I love shows like NCIS and things like that. The Rookie, and very rarely there's British television I actually enjoy. And I've got to admit, of recently, the more shows I've been watching have been things like ITV. I do find that a lot more fun. Some of them are trash TV and things like that. Like I'm a Celebrity. I don't actually watch that, but I've been getting into like The Masked Singer and things like that, and it's like, but you know where you stand with those. It's like sometimes people admit we watch a lot of trash TV. It's always going to be the case. But it's but I just think there's more to offer on these other shows, and like I said, and there's no difference to the BBC, and there's no reason why after all these years that we should have to still be paying for this service, which is antiquated and not needed anymore. It's like radio stations. It's like, oh yeah, we pay for BBC Radio, and it's like, but most of it's crap anyway, and it's like, and there's other stations which do that and more, and there's thousands of digital music stations, whatever you want, it's like, why do we have to pay for that? And it's as simple as that. It's just It's a dinosaur, and it needs to be extinct basically, and I think the sooner that people on low incomes who struggle to pay for things have to pay for this bullshit basically, the better. So this has been a bit of a serious conversation. I promise next one I'm probably going to do either movie based one. So it's going to be a bit more sort of a bit lighter, but please share, because very few people actually listen to this, but I just do it for myself, and like I said, I do have an email, denzalisttalks@gmail.com, if you ever want to ask a question or just say hi. Like I said, it's but like that, I'm gonna keep going. Like I said, nobody really listens to this, but I'm just doing it for myself. Like I said, it's I hope some people find these points quite interesting and actually have a conversation. It's not about sort of having arguments with people or saying I'm right, you're wrong. I'd happily have a conversation if somebody has a completely different opinion to me, and we can arrange it and sort of have a fair and fair-sided conversation. I'd be more than welcome, and that's what I like. I just like talking. I like talking to people. I like finding out about people, and I also I like to make it known where I think there's things which are wrong. And especially in this country, I think there's a lot wrong, but it's like, but we're all in the same boat, and it's like And yeah, I just think these little things, these extra costs and things like that, especially we're in a society, we're in a country where inflation is highest it's been on record, I think, higher than housing crashes and everything else. So literally the prices of everything's just going up and up. So as we know, with gas and electric, that's these energy suppliers, those prices are going up and up because the cost of the raw materials is going up and up. And it's like, and this, I think, is going to get a lot worse till it gets better, because there is going to be a lot of people struggling. I mean, my food bills have gone up, drastically, and and sometimes that's making bad choices and trying to sort of shop around a bit more now. But it's like when now the people on low incomes are getting squeezed more and more, it's like, do we need to pay for this stuff which is no different? So yeah. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that. So like I said, look after yourselves, take care of your mental health. I've been a bit unwell last couple of weeks, and I've not felt motivated, so sometimes I need to give myself a kick up the arse. And it's the same for other people, it's like, just be honest. If you're not feeling it, just tell somebody that you're not feeling it, and see if they can help and support you, or especially, like I said, if you do suffer from mental health, there's so many ups and downs and things like that. So take care of yourselves, and all the best, and I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.